Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. What's good, y'all? Hope everybody's living well and staying blessed. It's your boy, Marcus B. As always, I'm here with Mr. Evan Simmons. And this is episode 19 of Holla at Your Boy. Today, me and Evan sat down and we talked a little bit about, we caught up on our Mr. Laws. If you guys caught the previous episode where we talked about that, brief description, meditation, reading, listening, art, writing, exercise, and stretching, where we're at with that, things that we've added, things that we're struggling with. We eventually get into some things about motivation and our issues with it. But then we talk about something that was really hard for both, that hit both me and Evan pretty hard, and that's the recent passing of Chadwick Boseman. The influence that he had on us, the influence that he had on the entire world, as it seems, and what we've gained from his person. Would you say person?
Sure.
Yeah, his person. But I hope you guys enjoy the episode. As always, if you like what we're doing out here, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share. Holla at your boy with anything that you guys want to hear, anybody that you want to see on. Just show us some love in any which way. It would be greatly appreciated. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Peace. And also, so sorry, we suck when it's just me and Evan. We don't have a producer and somebody to watch the camera. So the camera didn't record the entire episode. This is only going to be an audio episode. So if you watch on YouTube, sorry, just listen to the audio. Listen to our soothing voices. Peace. Anyways,
We'll change that. Yeah. What's up?
How you been, dog?
Been good.
Yeah.
Been I mean, like, we had 2 weeks off of work.
Technically.
Technically, 2 weeks off of contract. Well, were you guys on?
We technically only had 3 days off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we have the extended contract,
I see. Okay.
which was confusing to me.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't know which one was better, because I know I got buddies down in Austin where they didn't. I don't know how they're changing it.
Yeah.
But because it made sense to us because we're going later into the year, so they didn't want to double down on the contract.
Right.
As far as I know, that was the layman's conversation of it. So they took us off contract for 2 weeks, but yeah, I don't know if that one's better, if that's better, or like my buddies in Austin who have just been in Zoom meetings every single day to justify them being on contract. So
No.
I don't know.
That's. I mean, the whole like Zoom thing is that's a weird. I think the whole like the big thing from this like coronavirus thing as far as work goes, I think a lot of people didn't think we could work at home.
Yeah.
And like we didn't like there weren't like expectations of, but now it could just easily be like, all
It's
right,
really simple.
faculty meeting, like right now.
Yeah.
You can just say it's on Zoom and
You got to be there.
right. Don't like that.
It's definitely a little strange. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, but I mean, as with most things that's going on right now, I don't know how I feel about it.
Right. I'm just thinking about like implications for the, just implications for the future. It's a whole different. I feel like we're living in the future right now.
We're definitely living in the future right now, and I don't think we've caught up to it.
Right. Like the human. It's weird. Like the human like psyche wasn't prepared for
this quick and far of a jump.
Right. Like because we're doing like sci-fi stuff like 40 years ago. What we're doing now is pretty sci-fi. Like as far as like hey, we can do class online. Like
we do everything online.
Right.
You don't have to put on pants.
Yeah. Some straight up Wall-E stuff.
Yeah,
like.
which was always the trope for those early 80s, 90s movies where they would stand up and they're just in their boxers.
Getting a cool hologram, but now it's Zoom.
Yeah. It's
Oh, that's kind of weird. Like, I guess Zoom is like the modern, like it's almost like a hologram.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's what they were like going
Precursor.
for. Yeah, like they were going for they're going for holograms, but now we have video.
Yeah. You know what's always weird is how, like, why are the holograms smaller in a lot of them? Except for like Star Wars, like
right,
they were full size
or bigger.
But
that was always the funny thing is about like holograms in like movies and TV shows is that they can always interact with that room. How?
Yeah.
Like like if we're in this room and we're looking into my room, it wouldn't look like what are you seeing? How are you able to? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't understand the mechanic either.
It's one of those things. Well, like you have to do kind of like Star Trek rules where you like stand on something.
Yeah.
And then that's what's projected.
I think it's one of the Star Wars. Maybe it was like the Clone Wars, the animated one.
Uh-huh.
But where all of a sudden you start seeing like droids coming into the hologram frame.
Yeah. They kind of like walk past.
Yeah. So are we just a 3D video? What's going on here?
Oh yeah, I didn't even. I guess it is.
It would be a 3D video, but then is that the same thing as a hologram?
I think you just figured out hologram.
Dude, did I just solve science?
I think you just solved science. Like episode 18 was called Real Science. This is called Hologram Science.
Hologram science again. Coming at you with that bro science.
That's so. Yeah, I think you just like instantly rendered 3D video.
Yeah.
Is I mean, you'd have to wear like glasses and stuff. I guess when they figured out the whole no glasses 3D thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's coming with Elon Musk's Neuralink, bro. Come on, stay woke. Just gonna be plugged in. Elon's gonna just plug a chip into your brain, and you're gonna.
Here's my thing about Elon Musk. Here's my thing about science and space. Once I hear that someone is like intent on going to Mars or something, I get it. I'm a man of science. Like I totally like understand like the but I'm like there are more. I don't know. Space is one of those things. I'm like there's so much of it. Why are we doing that? we got like I know we can explore it all, but like we got other stuff.
Well, it's because we tanked Earth, and now we gotta try and figure out the next place.
Gonna go try somewhere else. Yeah. Terraform Mars. I don't know.
Something like that, man.
Feels irrelevant.
We're probably gonna be dead by then, so.
I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah. I still, my what would you call it? The check into reality.
Yeah.
We're hurling through space.
Oh yeah.
We're hurling through infinity. Excuse me. Hurling through infinity.
Right.
96,000 miles an hour.
Right.
On a Earth, on a rock spaceship, basically.
Right.
Through a shooting gallery of meteors, dodging sun flares daily.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Well, and here's something that'll also blow your mind. You just created this chaotic picture in your head.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now.
Yeah.
Called The Jazz of Physics, and this last chapter, he was talking about how all that stuff you described.
Yeah.
That whole like universe that's been created, it all flows in a structure.
Yeah.
It's like set up in a certain way, and they're trying to figure out right now, kind of what a lot of the book is about is like, what's the big question of physics, and the big question that they've posed, Stefan Alexander has posed so far, is that the question is, how is all of that structured? Like, why is it structured the way that it's structured? The universe itself, like why did it? Why are the galaxies are where they are?
Yeah.
Like what in science said.
Why is the why the why?
Yes. Yeah. Like what? I mean, we can clearly see like what it is. Like be like, hey, that's dust. But like why is the dust there instead of over here? Like why did it structure? And then of course he does all that through analogies through music, like,
Nice.
talking about like intervals and jazz. And the coolest thing about that book is talking about them like improvising math. They're like sitting there like doing like, formulas and stuff, and they're like, if it doesn't look pretty, they have to like scrap it.
Don't like that.
I'm like, oh, it's like a solo. Oh, yeah, he's like, yeah, it's like a solo. It's like someone like a really like Einstein's E equals MC squared is equal to like giant steps. It's beautiful, short, concise, and I don't like this book. This book is
That's way too much for me, man.
Oh,
Wow.
it's you should get into it. It's a hard time. It's a hard.
I'm still trying to get myself to read daily, man. It's such a foreign like thing in my life.
Yeah, like it's I mean, I've been bad with it too. Like where I had this real bad problem in college where I'd go to like Barnes and Noble or the local recycled bookstore, and I'd get a book and be like, oh yeah, I got that book. To where now I have something like 15 books in my house that haven't been read.
I mean, we mention it every single time, but
right, you just go and you're like, I should get this book.
yeah,
Like,
I know I need all those books if I'm gonna eventually get into the history of rap and hip hop.
right.
But now I've got like 10, 11 books, and I don't know which one to start with.
I mean, like I literally just like pulled that one off the shelf. I was like, all right, I got this one. Got a book called Playing Changes. Got Pablo Castles and the Art of Interpretation, Art of Practicing. So many, like,
Jesus,
I'm like, all right.
you got some dense books, man.
But I also got a little book called The Tao of Pooh. It's like talking about Winnie the Pooh.
Nice.
It's so cute.
That sounds. Oh my
It's
God.
hella philosophical.
That
but
sounds
it's
fantastic.
that book like changed my mindset about a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah, it like because it talks a lot about how I think I mentioned this before. Like the short version of that book really is the like Piglet asking Pooh the question, Pooh, what day is it? And Pooh says today. Like it's the epitome of like don't you got all day. What are you so focused on?
Just
like
let it be.
right,
today.
just like it's today. There's nothing. If we do something, we do something. If we don't, we don't. It's fine. It kind of changed my because I was like super competitive before that, like super like gotta push for everything.
Gotta get
now I'm
after
like,
it. Yeah.
I'm like, no, just enjoy today. Like, I don't know.
And I mean, my check into reality statement isn't. It sounds very nihilistic.
Yeah.
Nihilistic, but it's actually kind of the opposite in my head.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, stop worrying about it. It's gonna. You're like, what's that one from Van Wilder? Don't take life too seriously. You never make it out alive.
I see.
It like that's kind of
Yeah.
what it boils down to. It's like, hey, you're gonna be all right. Like
It's
this
gonna be
little
okay.
inconvenience sucks, but you're gonna be fine.
Right.
You're eventually gonna be space dust.
Right. It's one of those things that's like, why I've talked about it like with like my whole analogy of like what school is right now, of like you're just treading in the Pacific Ocean. Like, what are you fighting against? Like, there's nothing like you're fighting against your own death.
Just let it be,
Like,
man.
just hang out. Like,
Go along for the ride.
so when I see people like that are like I'm not trying to be too like Bob McFerrin about it, but like just why are you worrying? Like, what's that? Like, what's worry? Like,
There's at this point, there's no point in worrying.
right.
There really isn't.
I mean, I think that's something that we definitely will learn from this whole thing is like, oh, you can just because you can just. I mean, that's what there's like a complimentary book to it. The Tao of Pooh called The Tale of Piglet,
Nice.
and it's about like Piglet being like constantly worried and how that can be that worry is like a sense of like awareness. And like, you know, you can have that like ultra awareness and be constantly focused on like the future or the past. Or you can just, you know, live like poo and I'm gonna eat honey right now.
Live for the day. Yeah, live for the moment.
Right, like you only got how long we got like here? Like 80 something years? Like 80, 90?
Bro, I'm gonna be surprised if I make it to 70. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be surprised.
With enough hate yourself Saturdays.
Hate yourself Sundays. This Sunday is gonna be a rough one. I think I decided on what I was gonna do.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we ever talked to you about the Monster Mile?
No.
So you know how at the stadium
sounds unsanitary.
The stadium, the home side,
yeah,
the stairs are stupid.
Oh god. I have a feeling I know where this is going, but
so the Monster Mile is you go up one side of the stairs, you run all the way across the other side, run down the stairs, and then you like loop around like through the concessions.
Yeah.
And you do that, and if you do that 5 times, that equals a mile. Now, naturally,
what's the incline?
That sucks. The incline is stupid, especially about like 2/3 up. The last third, it changes like 10 or so degrees, as well as the stairs get like an inch and a half taller.
Like, does your like watch like tell you like how many?
I'm sure. I'm not looking at my watch. I'm focusing on not dying. Come on, man.
Oh, like I'm just wondering, like how many how many floors do? Like, I'm sure it's like.
That's got to be 4 stories high.
Like every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, see, like
at least 3.
What are you climbing 20?
I don't know. Is that? Try to picture home stadium. Is that?
I mean, like think
40
about
feet
it.
up in the air.
I kind of picture it like you know, like stairs. You climb up like 15, 20 stairs.
Yeah.
So that's like easily like. 3 or 4 sets of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Again, it's called Hate Yourself Sunday for a
reason.
reason.
Yeah.
But I've already done that before. It sucks, but relatively light work.
Okay.
So I got me one of them weighted vests.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be god awful. I got 18 pounds on it right now, and I did this past Hate Yourself Sunday.
Yeah.
I did the Jacob's Ladder with it and the Stairmaster. It's the first time like I truly hated myself.
Like the weighted vest, like I'm sure like now, like after that workout you feel incredibly light. I always picture the you probably didn't watch like Naruto, but like you
didn't watch Naruto yet.
At one point they that thing where this guy Rock Lee dropped a big weight. It was supposed to be like this small, but it made like a giant anime crash.
Gotcha.
So it's like you're like, now I'm free. Like I'm sure after you take off the weighted vest, you're like
next level.
My body's like 20 pounds.
Next level, like freedom. When I finally took it off and went and sat in my car sauna.
That's why I find those things like the Murph and stuff like so. I don't know, I guess I aspire to do something like that, like one of these days. Like, I mean, I've finally started beating my records on the rower.
Good stuff.
And I'm like, I would like to do, because I like doing like, kind of the hate yourself, like the big. I don't like doing little bicep curls and stuff. That's boring. I like to do like challenges like that.
Your bicep curls suck, bro.
No,
Come do a bicep workout with me.
I don't.
It'll be a good time. When I say it'll be a good time, I mean you
good.
Hate yourself. I can make you hate yourself with just biceps. I promise.
I find, so like when it comes to soreness, I'd rather my entire body be sore than like just I can't do this motion. I can't raise my fist above my elbows. Like, why?
Hey man, sun's out for the guns out.
I mean, yeah, but if you did push-ups or if you did like if you did pull-ups, I'm sure you get the same amount of
Yeah.
Okay, here's my whole thing.
It's about definition.
I always like the like those like calisthenics the what are they called? Like those they're like the playground warriors or whatever.
Oh,
the ones that are like doing like all kinds of pull-ups
like
and
the handstand push-ups.
And like all that kind of stuff. Like that looks so. Like I'd rather do that than do.
Well,
bicep girl.
Hey man,
curls get the girls.
Thighs for the guys.
Thighs for the guy. Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a goodie.
Thighs for the guys.
Thighs for the guys. So we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
About the.
On another subject.
Well, I was gonna kind of circle back around because I did want to talk about this a little bit more. Was it? So this is 19. Was it 17 or 15? We talked about Mr. Laws.
Yeah.
Where it was meditating, reading, listening, art, writing, exercise and stretching. Yeah. Right. So you said you were taking that and then doing some stuff on top of it.
Yeah. So I kind of here's the big part of it. I'm turning 24 years old. And the basics of it is I like in my head, from the first like 12 years of my life, I was a kid. I didn't really know anything. And then for the next 12 years, it's been kind of like not a cycle of like I don't know how to call it. I've achieved things, but like I haven't been to like my full potential. Potential's been a big thing of my life.
Fair enough.
So the whole concept was, all right, I need to take the next 12 years to really kind of push that potential. Okay. See how far that potential can go. So one of the things that I wanted to do was, part of it was this idea of like practice, not necessarily the practice in like the musical sense, but practice in the like a daily habit,
daily routines and stuff. Yeah,
like a daily routine is something that makes you something to practice to make you better mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. So I started a thing. I guess yesterday now.
On day 2.
Yeah, I'm on day 2, and it's been tremendous. The short version. So the 12 things: I make my bed in the morning.
I always do that.
Work out.
So pause you on the bed. You bed on. Have you ever read Jordan Peterson?
No.
I keep meaning to finish that book, but again, I buy more books than I can keep up with, and his was dense. But like the first thing he has in his book of 12 rules for life, I think is just what it's called. The first one is make your bed.
Right.
So that way you start the day off with being organized and like conquering your own space.
Right. You start off like achieving at least that one thing.
Yeah.
And like for me, all these things that I've been doing, are things that after I do them, like in the past, I always feel like, oh, that was good. Like nice. I should.
It's like go me.
Right. Yeah. It's like, man, I should do that more often. But like so I make my bed, I work out, stretch after that. I cook myself breakfast. I like cooking, and like cooking like good meals, not crap.
No garbage in the body.
Right. So that's kind of like my morning. Like I'm trying to make that like the morning routine. Then the daily routine, kind of part of the day, is I listen to an album of something that I haven't listened to the entire album before. I really like albums, so like. Not
me. A lot of people, as an artist, you put your work into the entirety of the top down. So
right. So
listen to it top down.
So like I've definitely had like songs I've listened to have been like, man, I should listen to that entire album. So I listened to My Sharia More by Stevie Wonder, that whole album, like
nice.
fucking phenomenal. So good.
I mean, anything Stevie Wonder, bro.
Right.
Ugh.
Like, just the dude is a genius. And then I listened to Mitski. She's a singer-songwriter, guitar player, piano player. She has like I think she has like a classical voice, like major, but she sings like pop music.
Really?
Like really like amazing stuff. Like the way she's been described to me is like she's like a pop singer that can actually sing, like with good technique and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing. Listen to her album today. It's called "Be the Cowboy." So yeah, I'm gonna keep on that. But listening, and then the other two for the daily thing are play, where I just play an instrument. Trying to practice saxophone all this month.
Damn.
Like just keep at it. You know, nothing too much, like an hour.
Just touching it.
Like yeah, just like touch it, play through something. Like, and of course, every time I play it, I'm like, this feels great.
Yeah.
And then create. I'm just working on improvisation right now.
Right on.
Just because every time I do work on improvisation, I'm like, man, that's cool. Like I like finding new ideas and like stuff like that. It's great. But that's kind of like my daily thing. A lot of like artsy stuff. And then the end time, the night time, the 4 at the bottom, are reflect, meditate, practice gratitude, and then write.
Okay.
So I kind of treated those like 3 segments as like, get yourself ready, do the thing, reflect on the thing.
I dig it.
So yeah, I'm trying to do that for this month, see what works, see what doesn't work. And I mean, every time I do any of those things, I always feel better.
Yeah.
So like,
just have that supportive mental clarity.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know, and I considered like doing like, typically I've tried something like this before and been like, all right, let me try just one thing.
Yeah.
And like that's what people usually say is like, just practice. Like for me, if I started the day with making my bed, I'm gonna want to do the rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I could make my bed and then be a piece of garbage the rest of the day. But I'm like, no, let's just make my bed and keep doing all of it. And hopefully whenever school gets started, I will be strong enough to keep going.
Yeah. I've been on my Mr. Laws.
How's that been?
I haven't put enough energy into the listening. Because much like you, like, if I'm gonna listen to something, I want to like listen to it, and it's hard for me to make time.
Like I can't work out and listen to
exactly
like an album. Like
yeah. So like a lot of the times I'm listening to music, it's a lot of background stuff. So therefore, I don't feel like it's just as far as like proper listening. I mean,
granted, I'm like I've been cooking when I do it, but it's enough to where like I can, like, if I'm cooking something, if I'm staring at a pan for 5 minutes, I can listen to a song.
I think that's like mono. What's the word? Monotasking. I think that's a word.
You know, I don't think there is a word for like single tasking. I guess I don't know. Yeah. You're right.
I'm gonna go with monotasking.
Sure,
feels right.
New word.
I feel like cooking and engaged listening is close enough to a monotask.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I've sat and like just sit in a chair and listen to but that's kind of. I do feel like after that 30 minutes to an hour is over, I'm kind of like, okay, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. it feels a little guilty.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything.
I like to at least like cook my meal or whatever during that time.
But that, and then, like I was saying, the reading.
Yeah.
Because I've struggled with reading my entire life. Oh God,
that came with you everything. Sorry.
No, you're good. Growing up with a speech impediment and the minor dyslexia.
Yeah.
Just reading was not my gig, man. And I was never one of those people where it's like I was able to stop thinking and just kind of dive into a book. And that's also partially why I've been so big on meditation is teaching myself how to shut off my mind.
Yeah.
And being able to just focus on one thing. So hopefully those coincide and where I can, because when I do get a chance to sit down and like read a book, although it takes me a really long time to get through the book, it does feel good. Like,
yeah, there's no better feeling than turning that last page.
Yeah.
Or like finally like reading that last word. It's like to me it's better than finishing a TV show, because I've finished a lot of TV shows and been like, all right.
Something like the good feeling of ending a TV show is like heart wrenching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of.
In the sense of it's like, damn, that's over.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, what do I do now? As opposed to like every time I finish a book, I'm just like, nice.
Yeah, good.
Go me. Read some things.
Like you
learn
can
some stuff.
You can like talk about that book afterward. I don't think TV shows you can talk about, like I talk about The Office all the time, but I don't think you can talk about it on the same level you can talk about a book.
Yeah.
Books you kind of develop more of
that's fair.
A connection with it.
I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, we're all out here just trying to be better people.
Yeah.
Trying to do the damn thing, and
trying to. That's the the key is to keep my favorite. That's one of my favorite from the show BoJack Horseman. It's like the end of
never watched, never got into that one.
Oh,
I know it's super heavy, and I think that's partially why.
Yeah, it's not like you have to be in a good mindset, otherwise you just get really, really. I call it depressy. I'm no longer calling it depression. I'm calling it depressy, because when you get a little depressy, you're just like, I got a little depressy, and then you push it.
That died depression.
But there was an end of a season where he's trying to like better himself, and he starts running up this hill in the California hills.
Nice.
And he like collapses at one point, and this baboon comes up to him and is like, "Hey, you all right?" And he picks him up and is like, "Yeah, don't worry, it gets better. You just got to keep doing it every day. It's gonna be hard, but you just got to keep doing it every day."
It's so cliche, and I hate that. Like influencers and motivational speakers, like they lean on statements like that, and so they've kind of gotten watered down. But like at the fundamental level of those statements, it's like, yeah, no, you're gonna be okay.
Man, like that's one thing I sorry if you're a motivational speaker out there, but I do not like.
I have my stint on motivational speakers. Go ahead and get yours off, and then I will get mine off.
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't like when people. I know for some people we've talked about like us just like needing motivation before.
Yeah.
Like I don't like when people are they either rely on cliches or they go too heavy into if I can do it, you can.
Yeah.
It's like like you clearly, and I'm not saying you have to have something to be great, but like I don't think, I'm not planning on being Kobe Bryant. Like,
yeah.
like Kobe Bryant was my age whenever he was in the NBA. Like,
he was in the NBA for 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, like almost 24. Like, yeah, like I haven't been on a national stage. Well, there's one time. But like I haven't been on like there's no expectation that like I'm not saying that I can't do anything great, but like I don't like the idea of like you have to be achieving this now.
Different levels of
like push like later's okay.
Well, my thing is a lot of people that want to be influencers and motivational people just want to do that, but they haven't done a damn thing. Right.
Like they just want to be the hype.
Yeah, they just want to be the hype guy. You know why I follow David Goggins?
Because
he was like 300 pounds.
Right.
And then he lost 100 pounds in 2 months.
Right. 2 months?
So, yeah, something ridiculous. Like
Oof.
I can't remember the exact numbers.
Well, he did that like in like SEAL school, didn't he?
No, to get to SEAL school.
Oh.
No, to get to Ranger. What did he do first? I can't remember what school he did first, but to get into the.
Oh boy.
No, it was SEAL school. I'm trying. Whatever. I get his timeline mixed up because rightfully so. He's done so many damn things.
Right.
When I see his, and even his motivational videos, I don't think it's with the intention of motivation. It's just like, I got something to say, so I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it when I'm running.
Right.
So everything he puts on Instagram, like, he's working out.
Right.
And he's like, and it's not like all right, I got the minute. Okay, I'm done. No, like.
It's different than those Goalcast ones of like, this guy motivated himself.
Exactly.
Like, no, I don't need that. Like,
he did the damn thing, and so that's why his words carry more. Cameron Haynes running a marathon every morning, going to his 9 to 5, and then works out, and then gets his 2-3 hours of archery practice in every day. Get motivation from him. Jocko Willink wakes up at 4:30 every morning,
right,
to go work out, to go earn that sunrise, right? Like, those are the people,
right,
that are proper motivation to me.
But if you're just like this is one dude, he's some black dude with like an afro. He's like constantly, he's like one of those like motivational like speakers.
Is it like Prince EA?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's like always like. You can. I want to like shut your mouth. Like, do not.
I know it works for some people.
Oh, I mean, for like the whole self-help thing isn't as big of a it's not as big of a thing.
There's this one thing I sent Durant. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah.
That's why I looked this up.
Like it's not as it wouldn't be as big of a thing if people weren't listening to it. People definitely listen to it.
For sure.
So that's why that's why it works. But I just don't like that. That's the, I don't know. It feels cheap. Which I've had a recent thing of like everything now is getting a little cheaper.
How do you mean?
There's probably stuff back then that I'm thinking of like in specific, like I'm thinking of like books. There was probably stuff back in the 1800s that was like bad to read, but there was also your Sherlock Holmes. Like there was also really significant works.
Yeah.
And I feel like things now are becoming very like people talk about like commercial. It's like it's just very like kind of pushed out.
Content for the sake of content as opposed to content for the sake of reason.
Yeah, reason, art, whatever you like. People have actually I don't think Teddy Roosevelt would have been a motivational speaker.
Perhaps not.
I think he just was motivation.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I'm just gonna like the whole thing with like Goggins and stuff. Those people are super rare now.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is just like.
Because it is
I
fake.
can
I
get
get
on
what you're saying
YouTube
now.
and be like,
I get what you're saying.
I could be an influencer there.
Well, the first quote I was thinking of is something to the accord of motivation is fleeting. Dedication is forever. Like something of those lines.
Yeah.
Like you need to be properly dedicated, and motivation will eventually go away. But then this other one I sent to Duran was success is never owned, it is rented, and the rent is due every day.
I like that.
And I was like, yeah.
I like that because like it shows that you never deserve tomorrow.
Nope.
Like you never. If you think you deserve tomorrow, the biggest expression I can't handle is whenever I hear someone say, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh my god.
I don't care who you are. Did you ever think about that?
Obviously, I don't. Or obviously, I don't care.
Right. Like,
So try again, big dog.
if I did care, like, I mean, I always say this, like, if I there's certain people, I get political. There are certain people, just by saying that, people probably know what I'm talking about. That if I met them, I just wouldn't care about who that is. I'm like, I don't. Did you do something? Like,
Yeah.
Like, did you do something for someone today?
Anybody.
Like,
Ever.
Like, or like, unless you're like literally like Mother Teresa or someone like on that level, I'm not going to just respect you. No, not respect you. I'm going to respect you. I'm not going to
acknowledge your greatness.
Yeah, like there's nothing you deserve. I don't believe in I don't believe in someone being like, I'm a senior.
Yeah,
I'm a senior.
Oh, dude,
like,
I hate that.
Like I'm a senior. I'm a senior. I'm an eighth grader. I should get everything. No.
You shouldn't.
Like,
you should get it because you're a good person, and you know who else is a good person? The freshman. Shut up.
Right. Like, if there's a freshman who's like, I mean, like, I was talking to you and Jacob about this. I auditioned with a kid for Region Jazz my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a freshman. He ended up making first at All-State.
Gang.
I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't deserve that. like you don't.
I saw what he did. I didn't do that.
Right.
I got you.
Just because you're like a senior or you're like especially if you're like in a small group and you're the best one, you're not the best one.
Yeah.
Trust me, if you were the best one, everyone would know about it.
Yeah.
Don't think because you're the best one in like your little circle.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Well, somewhat of a segue.
Yeah.
Into what I feel like we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it definitely did affect both of us. But I know this won't come out until next Monday, so it'll be well over a week, but we're recording it Wednesday, September 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So just this past Saturday, Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Yeah.
And I think we both, I mean, I already asked you about it, but we both had the same reaction, like very taken back, shed a tear.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get your reason why that hit so hard, and like why, like, I didn't realize how important he was.
Right.
Like, I knew he was important to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how important, like, he was to everyone. So
Right.
I'm curious.
Okay. So the first movie I saw, or like clearly remember, Chadwick Boseman was 42.
Yep.
We played Jackie Robinson. And I guess, like, for me, he was one of the first. I mean, it's not weird. He was one of the first, like, strong black actors I saw on screen. That he was just, being black. Like, there wasn't any. He wasn't doing an Eddie Murphy. Like,
he wasn't doing a black role. He was doing a role, and it happened to be black.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it's just like he's just like, I'm just gonna play Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
And so between that and of course, like, I've never been more I don't know how this happened. I got like hella inspired after seeing Black Panther and Civil War for the first time.
Bro.
I was like, this is. I probably felt like, like a white kid did when they first saw like Captain America or something. They were like,
Honestly, yeah.
Whoa! Like, like when you can see yourself in a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to that. I mean, not that Black Panther was his only role. I mean, between 42, Marshall.
He did 7 movies in the span of 4 years.
Yeah.
So the entire time from when he got diagnosed, well, it was colon cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer.
He did 7 movies.
Yeah,
that is wild.
And Get On Up when he played James Brown.
Yep.
Like,
so like that's what's crazy. I don't mean to cut you off, but just like I think this is part of his importance is because he played Jackie Robinson, first black
baseball
player.
Integrated,
and then
James
Brown, first
like the Godfather of Soul.
Godfather of Soul, the first black person to play music that like was acknowledged across the board,
right?
Like out the gate,
yeah.
And then he plays the first black superhero,
right,
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
right?
Like
the significance of, like, I like the way Obama put it on his Twitter. He was like, he used his time wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I heard that, I was like, dude, how old is he? 43?
43, man.
Like I gotta figure out some stuff. We're gonna do that. Like, if we're gonna do that much in 19,
Yeah.
like just, I mean, not that I'm like, trying to do Chadwick Boseman stuff, but like, it's incredible what he did for black culture. Like his contributions were so, I don't know. It's like it felt significant.
He superseded his roles. I don't know if superseded is the right word. That's not the word I'm looking for, I don't think. But
his roles definitely, like he as an actor went past. His roles went past just playing a movie.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to get at? Like
I can't figure out what it is I'm trying to get at, to be honest with you. But just like to be, just talking about Black Panther, just to be the first black character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has been, at that point in time, was in year 9 of 10 of a story. So like for 9 years prior, there was no person of color. Like, like we had War Machine.
I was about to say, like, War Machine was like I think he's the only, like, oh God.
Yeah, that's it. And he never got his own movie. And he was Tony's sidekick.
Literally recast from 1 to 2.
Yeah. Super rough, and we don't talk about it, but
sorry, Cuba.
But we got and I stake claim in him because I mean, as we've talked before, I have this identity crisis of not being Latin enough and not being black enough, but being the opposite for the opposite group.
Right.
So there's no Latin characters in the Marvel universe. I know there's now, but
I mean, there's like Michael Pena plays like Scott Lang's like sidekick. But like, but not really.
Not in main role. So I stake some claim in Black Panther, and the idea of being from the homeland, and the idea of taking care of your culture and looking out for your people. Like, that's.
I heard someone say, like, sadly, that was like the Black Panther was one of the first positive depictions of Africa. Because a lot of people,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Because everyone's picture usually is like Blood Diamond, Hotel Rwanda. Like there isn't really any like super positive images of.
You're right, yeah.
And like you finally see like Africa is more than. I mean, it's funny the end of that movie when they're finally talking and they're talking about like how Wakanda wants to help out, and they're like, what does a nation of like goat herders want to do? It's like. We're a whole nation. We have so much technology.
We have the most technology.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's the this really got my goat during when that movie was coming out. So it's like 2016, I think. Yeah, because that's when I know when the Kendrick album came out, so I have to relate it to then. But whenever that movie came out, it's funny. there was some kind of, I know in a lot of like the movie review community, there was a lot of like surprise that it did so well that it made like, I think it grossed over $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that was like you forgot about like all the people that were gonna, like, black people were going to see that movie like repeatedly
Multiple
like,
times.
Oh, I get to see a
I
superhero
think anybody
movie.
just saw it once.
Like, I get to see a superhero movie with like people that I like that look like me. Like, I'm gonna go see that. Like, same thing with like that and like Crazy Rich Asians and like, like, if you make movies that are more like, that aren't just white people doing white people things, like, other people will see them. Like, I just really enjoyed that that kind of surprise, and I think I think his like willingness to be on the brunt of that, like to literally be the face of that movie, really put that movie on a or put his death on a higher not pedestal. I guess the best word I can come up with is like like pedestal, like the highest, like, you know,
ring of representation.
I
know what you're trying to get at.
Right.
I can't think of the word either.
Right.
And it's frustrating because I got in a conversation with a buddy back when it first came out, and I couldn't articulate the importance of that movie to him. And he was just kind of hung up on a couple of the cheesy lines that they threw in there, and like that was his depiction of it. And you know, he was a white guy, and it was hard for me to be like, nah, man, it was better than that. It was more than that. And then I didn't see it live, but obviously the video clips coming up now of Chadwick on The Breakfast Club talking to Charlamagne the God.
Yeah.
And Charlamagne asks him, who, although you were T'Challa, who were you, do you identify more with, Killmonger or T'Challa? And that's like, once I heard him talking about that, I was like, that's the significance. That's the importance of it, where it's like, in Killmonger's eyes, I'm going to butcher what he said, of course, but it's like, he feels abandoned by the culture and is having to fight his way to get back into it. And then T'Challa is making sure that he represents it well and is fighting for the proper view of the culture. And it's this dichotomy, and it's the realization that a lot of people of color have, where it's you want to represent your culture all day, but because if you're not directly from there, you feel like an outsider looking in.
Right.
And it's to give that depiction to so many people, and to have that, like you're saying, the representation on there, just like,
I mean, that whole like we're doing like Black Panther talk.
I mean,
it's a very significant movie. And one of the things that like is like the biggest, like, of course, like the whole like argument in that movie is like, do we help the world or do we help ourselves? And like that's one of the of course they like had to kill him, but like, you know, one of the most nuanced villains where everyone was like looking at Killmonger, like Michael B. Jordan, like kill that role first of all.
Fantastic job. Like the casting of that entire movie.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Like, oh man. Ugh. Like it just perfect casting, and like, and the whole like nuance of that story. Like people were on, like we definitely had like conversations about how some people were kind of on Killmonger's side. Like by the end of it, you're kind of like it's like, don't go kill people, but like also like help brother out.
Everybody got it
right,
and I think that's what was funny when Charlamagne asked Chadwick himself,
right,
like, who do you identify more with? He was like, the layman person would be like, well, the character you played. right? Like
Right.
But he's like, I don't know, man. I
Well,
feel.
I mean, because by the end of the movie, the whole thing like flips to where he's like, "No, we're gonna go help." Like he's like he's kind of on Killmonger's side by the end of it.
Yeah.
And like that, like I mean, that's one thing. Of course, like the like critics will like be like, "Oh yeah, the ending had to go into full Marvel mode where they break out the CGI rhinos and it ends up being." This is a typical Marvel thing of like ends up being the main character versus a character that looks exactly like him but a different color.
Yeah.
And like it's like, of course that stuff happens, but like because you gotta like sell tickets and sell toys and merchandise.
Yeah, it's still at the end of the day, it's a comic book.
Yeah.
And that's what comic books did. Like I don't understand why people hate on that, but
right.
That's like
it's gonna that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like to still I need to look up this quote. Killmonger says it like as he's dying. I think he like basically says, hold on, give me a second to look this up.
But it's wild the amount of positivity that has flowed out after his death, and I don't know if you caught the Facebook scrolls of all the kids.
Yeah.
With that got me. Like that was the second wave. Just seeing like, the
amount of kids that had like Black Panther costumes.
7, 8-year-olds, little black kids just lining up all the other. Goddamn, I'm about to cry right now.
Like that was the first time those kids saw a superhero where they were like, that could be me.
That could be me.
Like like to have that moment. Anyway, like this is why I'm like I'm not teary about it because it's like, yeah. I'm like
it still exists. Absolutely, it's just like
that's my whole thing with like the like really bringing it back to like the me like practicing gratitude thing, like. If you just like thank him rather than like sad that he's gone. No, thank you for what you did.
Yeah.
Like
thank you for doing all the things you did in the time you had.
Right.
Because you did it knowing you didn't have the time.
Right. Like he definitely I think he was done with like the Black Panther junkets like after he like found out like and then he did a bunch of other movies like in between.
Yeah.
Then it's like that Killmonger quote was bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped this one always hurts me. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. Like that is so to have that quote in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
To have that's such a significant statement because like that's a thing like there were some of my ancestors like literally were on like literally on boats like carried over here like that's such a thing to think about like in
it creates a very visceral reaction.
Oh yeah, because you're like oh this is real.
This is very real. This is very
right.
Like this is a very close alternate universe.
Right. Yeah. Like if there was an imaginary Wakanda, like it's like
that's just in there, while the world is still the same. You just add Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, like there's nothing. And to me, that's the equivalent of a. Not the equivalent. That's the key to a good like movie is something that's like very like this is reality.
Yeah. Again, just something to check back into.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I heard a little. It was the air conditioning.
Gotcha. My air conditioning's always weird, bro. It doesn't work.
It's like on.
It does.
Yeah. Oh no.
But yeah, it was tough, man. It was.
Yeah, definitely a. For me, this has been the first the first major celebrity death where I've been like actually sad about it.
Yeah.
Like I really don't think before. Like we were talking about it earlier. Like I couldn't think of anyone that's died, and like I mean, like you had like Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Where you're just like he was significant to you, but like I can't think of anyone that's been as culturally. I mean, now, granted, there are definitely deaths that will come that I'm gonna be like. I know it's not as significant to some people, but like when like Alex Trebek or like someone that like goes, I'm gonna be really, really, really bummed out about it.
Yeah.
And not that like, you know, a celebrity death you should make it about yourself, but like that it's gonna be a sad day.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast that were talking about Chadwick as well.
Yeah.
And this year has Corona. You had a reason. Like if people died to Corona, it was just like, damn, they got.
They got that Rona.
They got the Rona. You could mull it over in your head.
Yeah.
I don't want to say justify it because that feels.
No, it's not justified, but it's still like understandable.
Understandable.
Yeah.
It makes sense to you. But with Kobe dying at the front of the end of the year, and now Chadwick dying right now, and Chadwick's 43, Kobe was 44.
Yeah.
Like, it really kind of reminded you of your own mortality.
Yeah, the fact that this isn't as this isn't a like we don't have that long.
No, man, you don't.
I mean, like we haven't had a like this has been a like the whole like the 27 under 27 club. I think it's 27. It's the no, I think they just called the under 20 people that died younger than 27.
26.
Like Jimi Hendrix and
I thought it was 26. Is it 27?
I think it's 27.
Okay.
But like, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, people that died, like Kurt Cobain, like people that died like super young, like yeah, like we haven't really had anyone that's
shout out Mac Miller.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like he's probably like the most recent one I can think of that's like someone people had a thing with like I think it's Jacob Sartorius or something.
I can't remember.
It was some actor. People were really I didn't see his stuff, so I'm
not too sure.
I wasn't
or like Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not familiar with him, but
when it came to like Juice WRLD and Nipsey Hussle and stuff, I didn't know about them.
I found out about them post dying.
I mean, that was me with like Mac Miller too. Like I didn't know about.
I didn't acknowledge his greatness until afterwards.
Okay.
That's like I always jammed to some Mac Miller, but it was never a full acknowledgement of like how crafted he was in his art.
Right.
And I think that's like I don't know how else to put it, just the realization of your own mortality and how
this thing isn't as permanent as I mean, like we talked about like living to like 70, 80, but like it could be could be over sooner than that. So
yeah, and to I hope I'm as positive of an influence until the last day.
Yeah.
As Kobe, as Chadwick, as all these other people who have passed away. And that's not to take anything away from people that have died of corona.
Right.
I don't want to lighten that or make it seem.
That's still a horrible thing.
It's still a terrible thing, and people dying in the hospital by themselves,
right?
Not being able to see their family. Like dude, if somebody in my family had got it, like I'm punching doctors. I'm throwing hands at people to go show some love.
Right.
But to just for 4 years.
Yeah.
To just know for 4 years
right.
that it's that the wheels are falling off. Like,
Yeah.
Those cheesy quotes, make hay while the sun shines.
Right.
Gonna ride till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Like, he knew when they were falling off.
Right.
And for him to, you see the photos of him in those cancer hospitals,
Right.
showing love to all those children.
Yeah, like showing up like in character, and those kids think that like it's Black Panther because for them, Chadwick Boseman is
exactly.
Black Panther,
and him just doing it with such humility and such grace and such.
See, that's why I don't like. And I wish people like would take something from deaths like that and stop. Like, behave better. Like, after.
Just be nicer, man.
Right, like be nicer, like be kinder. Don't, like I said, don't pretend like tomorrow's coming. Like, just like I can't stand, like, if you're getting on a customer service call with someone and you're being mean to them.
Why, man?
What are you? There's so much more to be.
It blows my mind, dude.
Don't be like, do something more significant than like be mad at someone.
Yeah.
Like, practice kindness, practice gratitude, like
I think that's definitely something that everybody should take away from this thing is, try to do what he did, man. Try to incite positivity in people's lives.
Right.
Proper influence.
Like, literally be a beacon for, an entire culture. Be like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that everyone has to. I mean, it's the whole thing of like, superheroes aren't. You're not supposed to become a superhero. You're supposed to become morally like a superhero.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be, like, following what they do as far as like morality. That's what all like myths and stuff all come down to is like, you should do those things for, like you should be thinking of others when you live. And
do it selflessly and not selfishly.
Right, and like and that's what I mean. That's kind of the other thing about him is that, even though he was playing a character, like in that movie, he was also in just regular life. He was being guided by that morality. Yeah, like if you're like I mean that's one thing that might have like really hurt me about it was like this. He was a good guy.
He was a good person.
Like as stock funeral statement as it is, like he was a good guy.
Yeah, and I think that's why the character had that level of depth, because the character is supposed to be like that, and he was also personally like that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, and it's one of those things where, like, it'll happen again. Yeah. Like, I'm sure. Like, there are people that have recently passed away that have like, they were like older. Didn't like Henry Winkler died. You might not even know who that is.
I know that name.
He kind of plays like the dad. He's like in like every, like, let me look up a quick. But he kind of plays like the dad in a lot of things, and he passed away, and a lot of people were broken up because he was a. Let me make sure I have that right. It was a tinker. Did he die? No, wait. Maybe he didn't die. Oh no! Did I just say someone? Other people have died. I'm sorry, Henry Winkler. You're still alive. You're still kicking. Man. Thank you very much for your movies. You're an amazing actor.
You're talking about Stiller? Ben Stiller's dead.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like in
the dude from The King of Queens.
This guy. Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah. Henry Winkler. Yeah, I know Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about. I think it's Stiller. I think his last name's Stiller.
What are you talking about? Like Kevin James?
No, I'm not talking about Kevin James. I'm talking about Kevin James's. What was her name? His wife's father.
In the King of
King
Queens.
Of Queens.
King of Queens. I'm like Googling stuff. Dad. Jerry Stiller. Yeah.
Jerry Stiller. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people that I'm sure whenever someone like that I'm sure when someone like that dies,
crowd, yeah.
Like if like someone like sorry, a Hannibal Buress joke just came up about like him being like, there's some celebrities that I want to see die before I do.
Jesus.
He was like, oh no, he said he didn't want to see. He didn't want to die before certain celebrities. He was like, I think Will Smith needs to die before I do, because like it's gonna be sad, but like I don't want to miss that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air marathon. Oh man, that's a
Jesus. Hannibal. That's
Hannibal is so
true. Hannibal.
Yeah, you're like, God, I can't wait for that marathon. I get to watch.
Oh my God.
It's a movie. I can't remember the movie. Aliens. Independence Day. I was like, I can't wait to watch Independence Day on repeat. Yeah, like I think there are gonna be deaths like later on that we're gonna be like still super sad about though.
Yeah.
But that's how life goes. I mean,
yeah. Just hopefully, like we've already said, just the time you had, you spent it wisely.
Yeah, like you don't have time to be a mean person. You don't.
Just don't be a dick. Just don't.
Like you don't got the time to do something else.
Just go be a good person.
Right. Like treat it
that's
like
all you're trying to do is just try to be a good person.
I mean, treat today like tomorrow is gonna be your. Treat today like tomorrow you're gonna die tomorrow. People have to say about stuff that you did today. Like,
yeah.
Talk about that. Saw a picture of this guy. It's a salad. It's like a normal conversation. The John olive oil bottle pouring over it. It's like the picture that's going to be at your funeral might have already been taken.
Oh, Jesus. That's real, man.
Oh, I love that picture. It's still on my phone. I'm going to keep it on there for forever as a reminder.
Yeah, I think about stuff like that. And I think I've talked to you. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but I was listening to, just another dude talking about.
Yeah.
It was a motivational movie, like compilation
of
just like speeches spliced together. But they were like, this one stuck out to me.
Images of people running.
Yeah, no. It was
through the sea.
I think it was just audio, but he was like, you're gonna be on your deathbed, and you're gonna be surrounded by your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, and everything that you wanted to do. And how many of those things did you say you could do tomorrow?
Right.
And how many of those things did you truly want to do, and you just never followed through with it? And just like, I heard, and I'm not doing it justice. Obviously, it was much better phrased than that. But the idea of like, all your hopes and dreams are gonna die with you when you die.
Right.
And if you didn't put those out into the world, nobody's gonna know about them. Nobody's gonna care about them. Like,
you'd rather be, like, I don't know about you, but I'd rather be done by the time all that's over.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like there's still, of course, the quote, like, there's always work to be done.
Yeah.
But like, I'd rather be like, all right, that was good.
That's why I kind of dig what Boseman did. Like, he knew the wheels were coming off. Like, the sun was setting.
He's like, so let me go ahead and
let me just
I'm gonna make some of the best like black rolls ever, and just
let me get after it for the next 4 years.
It's the way to do it. Like
that's fuck.
you gotta treat this time like it, man. You gotta treat this time like he literally had 4 years left. He's like, all right, let me go ahead and put this out there. Like, let me go and put out everything that I can.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you, Chadwick. That's all I can say.
Cheers to you.
That's actually my
cheers to you, big dog.
I'll treat that as my gratitude for the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll treat that as my gratitude for the day. Thank you, Chadwick.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you did. Yeah.
And on that note, I need a break, man. Cause I'm crying, son of a bitch.
It happens.
As always, thanks, big dog.
Yeah,
I appreciate you being here and helping me out with this.
Yeah.
Everybody listening and watching, thank you guys for kicking it with us until the very end.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Y'all be easy. Peace.